What's up, everybody? It's a Saturday morning right now, and I'm about to go pick up Michaela because I ended up spending the night at my aunt's house. She was supposed to come with me, but she decided not to. She stayed asleep in her room yesterday, so I just left her alone because if y'all haven't noticed, she has attitude problems sometimes. But yeah, I choose to pick my battles with her. My plan is to go get Michaela, and we go to the store, and we want to do a video. Well, I want to do a video today, but we've been talking about either doing like where we watch a Disney movie, but we make like a food or a recipe from the movie, and then we end up watching the movie while we eat the food. But we haven't decided if we wanted to do that or if we wanted to do like a TikTok recipe thing. So those are two things we want to start doing. We've been just talking about different types of content we could bring to you instead of just TNT videos. I've been thinking about some pranks, so they better watch their backs. If we get some footage done, I'll try to post our other video soon so that we could just start posting either daily or every 2 days or whatever. I don't know. I'm gonna go get Michaela now, so I'll talk to you guys later. What's up, guys? So I got Michaela with me finally. Little lazy bone Jones, but we haven't decided if we're gonna do the Disney thing or the TikTok thing. And I was asking her, she said it don't matter. So I guess we're gonna flip a coin for it. Here we go. Flip a coin. TikTok is tails. Heads. Look like we're having a Disney day. You don't want to do a Disney one? We gotta figure out which Disney movie we're gonna do though. Wait, what did I say the first one should be? I'm not sure. Oh, dang it, I forgot. And I think I left the paper at home. Was it Emperor's New Groove? Was it spinach puffs?
Yeah, probably.
Alright, let's figure out how to make spinach puffs. Alright, so I started off by looking up recipes to make the spinach puffs so that we knew what we needed to get from the store. They have multiple recipes, but I just chose the one that would be like the quickest, but also still look really good to me. And I scrolled down to find the ingredients so that I could copy and paste them to my notes so that I can make a grocery list for when we went to the store. We got in the car and drove to the store. It was like not super far from the house, so we drove there and we went straight in and headed towards like the fresh produce section to go get some fresh spinach from the little refrigerator area they got over there. And it was on sale for $1 because it only had like a few more days left on it, but we was gonna be using it right away, so I wasn't really tripping. Then we walked all the way across the store to the little cheese section so that we could grab a tub of ricotta cheese. And there was other dairy stuff over there, so we grabbed like a box of butter. Down that same aisle, they had like the bacon and stuff, and we needed some bacon bits, so I grabbed a box of the bacon that needs to be cooked actually, instead of like bacon bits. And then like right across from the bacon was the cream cheese, and we grabbed a box of that. And then we headed to the frozen section to look for the frozen puff pastry that we needed. Now, while we was looking for the frozen puff pastry, we ended up getting very much sidetracked and started picking up like other frozen foods that we could take with us and have for dinner just by warming them up to make it easier for ourselves, so we didn't have to cook like 2 different times. So we looked down the frozen aisles to look for the frozen puff pastry, and we couldn't find it. So we decided to ask like the nearest employee if they even sold it at the store. But the nearest employee only spoke Spanish, and even though we could speak some Spanish, we didn't know how to translate it perfectly. So she just handed us over to the next nearest employee, and he ended up taking us down all the aisles that he could possibly think of that would probably have that. Shout out to Amir because we really appreciate his customer service. Since they didn't have it, we just decided to look down their seasoning aisles to look for the dill that we needed for the recipe. But we only found like the little section that got like the little dollar seasonings, but all of their stuff was pretty much in Spanish, and I didn't really know what would be the Spanish word for dill. So we looked for their American seasonings, and we couldn't find them, so we just decided to get in line to check out. Fortunately for us, though, there is a Walmart like literally across the street, so we got in the car and drove there. So we drove down across the street and parked. Now, coming up, there's gonna be this guy who is dressed in a red shirt, and he's gonna be standing playing an instrument. He was playing the same song on loop. I'm gonna show you a video after we're done shopping. But there's a freezer section, and we searched all down the freezer sections to look for the frozen puff pastry, but we couldn't find it at all in the freezer section. But I did notice that on the walls of the store there was kind of like this refrigerated section, so we decided to head in that direction to see if we could find it. They had this little sectional with a whole bunch of seasonings in it, and we checked it for the dill since we couldn't find it in Food for Less, but they didn't have any dill in there either, so we just continued to check the refrigerated section and look for the frozen puff pastry, and we ended up only finding the refrigerated pie crust like we found in Food for Less, and I was like, I guess that's as good as we're gonna get, so I just grabbed a box and we headed towards the front of the store to go check out. When we got up there, the line was mega long, so I just threw that junk back in the freezer. And then I went right here and it's on a short line, and I sent Michaela to go grab it from where I put it back at, and she couldn't find it. So I'm like, come switch with me, and I went and grabbed it and came back so we could check out. On the way out, I started recording because bro was playing the same song on his instrument, but here it goes. The only song bro knows. He keep playing the same song over and over and over and over. You know, you can't go wrong with a song that was in Shrek. Everybody knows Shrek. Did you just trip?
No, I stepped on a dirt step.
Oh, I'm rolling.
Many hours later.
So, it's like many hours later. When we got back, we decided we was gonna go buy something for lunch. So we brought all the groceries in. Then we went and got food, came back, ate, all that stuff. I did my homework, Michaela took a nap. We watched a movie, everything. But now we're gonna get ready to make these spinach puffs like Crunk made in the Emperor's New Groove. We're gonna get all the stuff that you need to make it. So what it said we needed was some spinach, some bacon bits. Well, obviously that's not bacon bits, but I'm gonna make the bacon, then make them into bacon bits, because I didn't know where to find those, and I didn't want no dry bacon bits. Those are good to me. Some butter, some cream cheese, salt and pepper, some oil. On here they said some dried dill, but we couldn't find any. And then they said crumbled feta, but I don't think I want feta, so we ended up getting some ricotta cheese. And then when we was looking for puff pastry, Walmart and Food for Less didn't have them. So I'm like, next best thing, pie crust. So I'm probably just gonna time lapse the making it and do a voiceover. So yeah, here we go. So my dumb bummy self forgot that we didn't have any cupcake pans at my aunt's house, so I skated around the corner to buy some from the good old trusty Dollar Tree. I washed them as soon as I came back though. Then we started prepping everything. For this we needed 4 ounces of cream cheese, 2 cups of chopped spinach, 1 tablespoon of oil, 3/4 cups of ricotta, 2 teaspoons of bacon bits, and 1 tablespoon of butter. We also needed that salt and pepper just to season it to taste. And I forgot that we needed 1 egg for this. You're about to see me grab it in like a few seconds. But as you see, I'm starting to work on the little filling part with the cream cheese. So I cut the cream cheese in half to get the 4 ounces. And I had Michaela put it in the microwave so that we could warm it up so that we can mix it with everything else. While I was doing that, I completely forgot that we needed the bacon bits, so I decided to start on them right now. I decided that instead of cooking them first and making them into bacon bits after, that I would cut them into like tiny squares before I put them on the fire. It actually helps them cook very much faster, but be careful with this because I accidentally burned the first batch because I had them cooking and then they came out perfectly, and when I went to go grab a napkin to put them on, they was already off the fire, but the pan was still hot, so they ended up burning. So I had to make a second batch. So now Michaela is about to measure out the oil and add it to the cream cheese mixture, and also she adds the egg to that mixture and she's starting to combine it all. It took a while to combine it, maybe because the cream cheese wasn't as warm as we needed it to be, but we did end up eventually combining it. And in a little bit we're gonna add the salt and pepper to that mixture, but we had to grab a second bowl so that we can put the spinach in there. So instead of chopping it, we ended up breaking it up with our hands and using that red Solo cup that I just put there to measure it. The red Solo cup holds about 2 cups itself, so we ended up using that as like a little guideline of what to do. Michaela measured it before chopping it, but you're supposed to measure after and pack it down as much as you can. That way you can have all the spinach in there that you need. To rinse the spinach before we put it to any use, but after we chopped it and I got it in the cup, I did rinse it at the sink and bring it out before I put it back in the bowl. And once it got back in the bowl, it still had some water, so I just went back to the sink to make sure everything was off. And to that bowl we ended up adding the bacon bits after they were done getting a little less greasy, and we add the ricotta cheese. Now we use the same exact red Solo cup for measuring, but at this point I forgot that there's 2 cups worth in that cup, so I ended up putting way more ricotta cheese than the recipe called for, but it's okay because it came out pretty good. But it is probably better that you stick to the recipe, especially when you're not making something that you're used to making and you know the proportions right. We just so happen to be lucky with that because it came out like really creamy and really good. So now I know you saw I just brought over the cupcake pans and I grabbed some non-stick cooking spray and I sprayed all of them with it, and I'm about to prep the pie crust so that I can fill the pans. So with the pie crust, they're circular because they're supposed to go on top of pies. With puff pastry, they come in these really big rectangles, and we're supposed to cut those rectangles into 9. But since the pie crusts are in circles, I just basically had to wing it all. So I cut it into 9 sections and tried to make really big rectangles as much as I could, and then with the extra dough
I ended up rolling it out. I used a cup instead of a rolling pin because I didn't find a rolling pin in the house. And I just tried to make evenly proportioned sections. I showed you the mixture because that was how the mixture is supposed to look before it goes inside of the pie crust. And it looked really good to me, so I wanted to show you guys. But I ended up having to use both of them because I only ended up with 7 and I needed at least 9, and I just decided to make all 12 since there was already like so much extra. With this dough, with it being the way it is, you can combine it and roll it out, and it's kind of fun. It's almost like edible Play-Doh, I guess. But if you need extra, you could always do that. Like, it's very simple. And don't forget, you have to preset your oven before you put it in. So it called for us to set it to 400 degrees. I'm pretty sure I set it back when I was making the bacon bits, but since I didn't show it in the camera, I decided to tell you just now. So I know you can't see very well, but I'm just filling them equally, and then you take the corners and basically meet them all in the middle so that it makes like this little nest, I guess. And afterwards, you're supposed to use the butter and warm it up and just brush it on top of all of them so that it doesn't burn on the top. It just gets like this golden tint on it. It's gonna be really good. Oh my goodness. After you put the butter on them, you put them in the oven for 20 minutes. I decided to use that time to be productive, clean the kitchen, wash the dishes, put away everything that needed to be refrigerated. We still had like quite a bit of that mixture left over, so that's why that bowl is still there and hasn't been washed. But just make it easier for yourself. Just knock out all the cleaning that you have to do so you don't have to worry about it later. Oh my, those look so good. Oh, wow. Wow. Now we gotta let these cool down for like 10 minutes. Y'all can't tell me these don't look like absolutely delicious. Especially with the brown tint on them. Oh my gosh. They're done cooling off, and we just started the movie.
Will you take a look at that? Pretty pathetic, huh? Well, you'll never believe this, but
We
that
got our food right here.
It's dinner time!
Alright, so we're finna eat them.
Did you see that sky today? Talk about blue.
Take which one you want?
Riveting. A toast.
Did you cut it on the edges?
Oh, I didn't. Can you help me because Rain? Sit down. You just gonna dip it. Oh, there you go. You put it right there.
Okay.
I'll just go get a fork.
Alright.
Rain, back up. Gosh. Be greedy.
Finally. Good work.
Oh, they're so easy to make. I'll get you those.
Spoon, actually, sorry. You don't.
Okay, what were we saying?
You suck. Alright.
Making a toast to your long and
That was so easy.
healthy.
Alright, ready?
Right. So, what are you gonna do? I mean, you've been around here a long time. I really mean a long time.
Oh my god.
And it might be difficult.
These are so
Some
good.
of your age, adjusting to life in the private sector. Hey, Croc, can you top me off, pal? Be a friend?
They taste almost like a quiche. But
That's gonna be tough.
Oh, broccoli.
this is what it looks like.
Let's see.
It's really, really good. Like, I didn't know what to expect, but it came out really good. I thought for sure it was gonna be like,
Yeah, weird.
I don't know. I just thought it wouldn't come out as good as we wanted to because it wasn't the puff pastry.
This isn't poison. This is extract of...
Alright,
You know what?
rate it 1 to 10, and if you'll make it again.
Do you like me?
Bars.
I rated it
Take him out of town and finish the job
a
now.
9. Because it's like not that much flavor, but it's like
Yeah,
really,
if we
really
seasoned
good.
it more, it would have been like A1.
And I would definitely make it even.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I suppose there's time for
Oh,
dessert.
I rate it a 9.5. But like I said, if we had seasoned it, it would have came out much better. And I'm definitely making these again because I feel like this is something my mom would like. So we'll tweak
Guess
it
where I am right
and,
now. In the bag. Still think I'm not the victim
and we'll
here?
make some more.
Well, it gets better.
And hopefully they'll be good. Like really, really, really good.
Oh, he's
Like
doing his own theme music?
12.5 or 10. Alright, we're gonna finish watching this movie. And we hope you guys like this
Dumb
video.
and tone deaf. I am so glad I was unconscious for all of this.
Not sure how the footage is gonna look because I know most of it was in time warp. But
Mission accomplished.
this is just our first cooking video. So as we bring you guys more, they'll get better and better. So like, comment, tell us what you what like Disney movies you want us to make stuff from, and tell us
I'm gonna lead you down the path that rocks.
like for any other TNTs, whatever you want us to try, and subscribe to our channel. Comment such a greedy dog in the comments because she's really trying to get her food. But yeah, we love you guys. Thank you for supporting us, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.
Here's another tip.